Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Happy Saturday, everybody.
Happy Saturday.
Thank you guys for chiming in. I absolutely appreciate it. So I see Janice, I see Kelly and Kent. Hi, Gabrielle. No, that is my girl, Georgia. Hey.
Hi, do I look like Gabriella? You almost
said
said
Gabrielle on the screen.
Oh.
I'm like, who is that?
Because I'm using Gabriella's Zoom. She does it for school. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Okay, well, we're going to get started. I don't want to keep you guys too long. Thank you again for chiming in. We should have some other people coming in. It's making me admit people. I don't know why. Okay, that's fine. So I wanted you guys to chime in, just give a little bit of your experience. I have a couple of questions, and the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to ask a question. I'll give everybody the opportunity to ask. I know, Georgia, you haven't closed yet, but will be in the next couple of days, but I still want you to share, if you're open to it, your experience when we get to it. All right, you guys ready?
Sure.
All right. Well, firstly, thank you for coming in again. Congratulations on the purchase of your home. Congratulations in advance, Georgia. I hope you guys are safe and healthy, your family as well, in the midst of all that's going on. And again, just thank you for taking the time to join in. So let's start with Janice. So if you would, give your name and tell me when you bought your house.
Okay, my name is, can you hear me? Because I have on AirPods.
Yes, I can hear you great.
Okay, my name is Janice Person, and I purchased my home November 9th, 2019.
Whoop, whoop. All right. Awesome. Congratulations. Who's next? You want to go, Kelly and Kent?
All right. I'm Kelly, and this is Kent, and we closed in early October, like I think October 4th. For 2019, and we
awesome.
got DC.
Congratulations. All right, who else is on here? Let's see. Hey, Tiffany, are you gonna chime in, my love?
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. My name is Tiffany. She already said it. I closed February 25th, 2020, right before all of this mess.
Wow. Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else want to chime in? Who else we got in here? I think that might be it for now. All right, so let's go back to Janice. So if you could give a summary of your home buying experience, and it's not particular to NACA. I did have some other clients that come in that weren't NACA, but if you could just give a summary of your experience, very general, what would you say how your home buying experience was?
My home buying experience was all of 90 days from the date that I got approved in August at the Baltimore Achieve the Dream event. I was qualified on August, because I wrote down some notes, August 12th. Then on September the 14th, I put a contract on a house. Andrea worked it, and before I could get home on the Beltway, she had called and said that the owners accepted our offer. November the 6th, I got the best email and clear to close. That is the best email you're ever going to get from NACA. All I can say is to trust the process, trust Andrea. And, you know, I'm not going to say that I was not worried, because there was a point at Bank of America at underwriting. I think that was the longest wait I had, and it was only because they had a backlog. But other than that, it took me 90 days. I did use some money to buy down my interest rate. And I'm going to say this, I paid $400 less on my mortgage than I did for renting an apartment in Silver Spring. And I own a townhouse, a 3-level, 3-bedroom, 2.5-bathroom townhouse in Bowie.
Awesome. Awesome. Absolutely. All right. So let's see. So Georgia, you're next. even though you're closing in the next couple of days, you haven't officially closed yet. Tell me a little bit about your home buying experience so far.
Oh my God, I don't even know where to start. My home buying experiences is combined in all of the 3 movies that I like. It's action, comedy, and drama. It's a lot of yeah, because it started with me jumping from counselor to my counselor keep leaving, so I felt like I was jinxed or something because I keep jumping from counselor to counselor. And then I was so happened to get Pamela Pollock last year, because I've been in the process since 2017. And I stopped because it can be frustrating. It can be, to the point where I was like, you know what, I have a Navy Federal, why don't I try them? And so it got to that point for me. And then I met Pamela, and she encouraged, oh my God, she's the best. If anybody could, you know, I've been encouraging people to go to NACA and try. I'm praying that she doesn't leave, because she is so meticulous. She works with you. Oh my God, I remember one Saturday she wasn't supposed to come in, but because all the counselor that I had, I was so close when they keep leaving me. I was so close. So Pamela, when she saw that, she said, you know what, I'm not gonna leave you. So she came in on a Saturday, and I think we spent, I even brought curry chicken that morning. I cooked curry chicken because I'm a Jamaican, so I cooked curry chicken that morning, and I took there for us to eat for lunch that day. And we spent from 11 o'clock, and I didn't leave out there until like 6 o'clock, when she finally wrapped me in a bow, per se. And then about maybe a month, or not even a month after, she sent me the letter to say congratulations, I was qualified. So again, stay with it. Like what Janice was saying, you know, you got to stay with it. So my part that I'm at now is I'm waiting for my clear to close, and it is Bank of America that is really holding me up. It is frustrating because I've packed since January. And my experience was, like I said, the horror part was before I met Andrea, I call her my sunshine. Because she is. Because before her, I've been working with another realtor, and the realtor was choosing houses that she wanted, and I was like, what? So she was putting me in houses that she liked, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not feeling that. So our relationship became very that's the action that coming. That's the action movie part of it, because it came in where I was like, look, I'm leaving you, and she wanted to know why I'm leaving her, and it was just back and forth. But when I met Andrea, everything just felt so smooth and right, because the house, so hear this, the house that the realtor told me that I couldn't get, Andrea got it for me. The realtor told me no. She was like, no, that house is out your price range. And I told Andrea about it, and Andrea said, I got it. And she got the house for me. The next day, the guy accepted the offer. Or I think it was the same day. Andrea put the offer in, and the guy was like, okay, bet, it's yours. So I was like, so I call Andrea my ray of sunshine, because she really is. And she's the one that really, she's keeping me from pulling my hair out, because from January I've been packed, because my closing was supposed to be February, then it jumped to March, then it jumped to April, and I got 2 dates in April, the 15th and the 20th, and now Andrea put an extension on it for the 30th. So Bank of America is what really holding me up. But it's frustrating because I was so eager that I packed all my stuff up. I sold my dining room table. I had people coming in and getting stuff, and people who, you know, don't have any money, but they want the stuff. I was like, hey, take it because I've been so blessed. So here, you can have
Stay
it.
ready. Stay
Right.
ready so you don't have to get ready.
Right. So
Now all we need is that clear to close.
right. So this is
Settlement
the
date.
problem now. So I want to cook, and I don't have any pots. I have to go in the box and
Don't
take my pots out of the box. So that's the frustrating part of it and the comedy part of it. But I have been just so grateful that Andrea's on my side, and she's very, very proactive. And I love that about her. I absolutely love that about her.
Oh, thank you so
So
much.
that's where I'm at now. I'm just waiting for that CTC, and then I guess the ball can roll with that.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah,
It's
fingers
coming.
crossed.
You're gonna be on the next webinar as a closed client.
I hope so. I
You
hope.
will.
I
Definitely.
hope so. But then the scary thing is that my contractor, because some stuff want to be done to the house, and my contractor is whole house have COVID, except him and one other person in the house. So that I'm like sitting on pins and needles, hoping that he doesn't catch it and that I can do the repairs.
What's my famous saying? We don't create obstacles that don't exist. So we're, like I said, next time we talk to you, you're going to be closed. You're going to have your whole new renovation. We're going to be good to go.
Okay. Fingers crossed.
Thank you, though. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Andrea.
All right. So who's next? Kent and Kelly, you want to tell us a little bit about your buying experience? Oh, let me unmute you. Let's see.
I was looking for my mouse. So we decided that we wanted to start the process February of last year, and we went to the initial training that we needed to do, and then my mom got cancer, and everything kind of got put on hold for a while we dealt with that family crisis. And then in August, she finished up a lot of her treatments and stuff, so we felt like it was time to start going. And I had done a lot of research between February and August trying to figure out where I wanted to be, and I had committed to Mount Rainier, and then I ended up in DC just in a flip of a hat. But the process, I did the one-day qualification in Southern.
Achieve the Dream?
Yeah, they Achieved the Dream in Southern Virginia, and that's when we really got the process started. I think it was in late June, and made a decision in August. And I met Andrea at the Achieve the Dream, and my best friend's name is Andrea, so I felt it was
I remember that. We had an instant connection.
And so, you know, she met me one day. We went looking for houses, and I because my parents may move in with us, I had very specific needs on what I needed in a house, which can really help you find something when you don't have the world as your oyster. You just have specific things that we were looking for. And I think we looked at 5 houses, and I was like, I think this is the one. I want to make a decision. She's like, are you sure so quickly? You've only picked 5 houses. And that started everything rolling, and we had a couple of bumps with the inspection because this was a flipped house, and they didn't have everything ready for us to actually inspect it. So that kind of created some issues out of our control, but we stuck with it, and we love our neighborhood. We love our neighbors. The dog is finally getting acclimated to the house. So, Kent, you have anything to say?
Thank you.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure. You guys were awesome. All right, excellent. Who do we have next? Tiffany, you want to share about your experience, home buying experience?
Well, I started the process, I think it was March of 2019. I went to the Achieve the Dream event August 8th of 2019. Went through that whole thing, got my approval, filled out the little form. Andrea contacted me that same day, sent me a nice little text and all of that. And that began our relationship. I would definitely say this process is not for the faint of heart. My God. I had faith before this, but it truly was tested during this entire process. I finally found the home that I'm in now. What was it? December 23rd of 2019. Our contract was accepted December 26th. My original close date was February 6th, which wasn't a good day because that was the day my brother died. So then we got it was February 13th. That fell through. Was at the table February 20th and could not close.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, February 25th, we closed. Andrea was great. She said I was her. What did you say? I have to look back at that email, but yeah, I definitely was ready to say, forget this
And
whole
I have
process.
to say, your commitment, you taught me a lot about myself. I'm telling you, in the midst of all that you had going on, your level of commitment stood out to me more than anything. I mean, it was so much. You were like, look, I will show up every single day if I have to, but we're going to close in this home. And I tell people, you have to be committed to the process. If that's what you really, really want, you have to want it with all of your heart. And I'm telling you that if nothing else stood out about our experience, that was it. I walked away like, this woman is strong. So I commend you for that, definitely. And congratulations. I see you
Thank
laid up.
you.
You enjoying your house.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, what happened? You were at the table and couldn't close? I'm asking because that now kind of scared me.
I don't know what it was. Bank of America.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something from title that we needed. They had to redo the numbers, and title makes things happen. If it's anybody on here that's a potential client, title, your settlement company, the people who hold your earnest money deposit, they're the ones who literally make sure the numbers are what they need to be, who gets paid what. So they actually have the final say in facilitating the settlement. So if they don't give us that after the bank, if they have things that need to be worked out, it doesn't happen. So that's what happened. We had a few kinks that needed to be worked out. But the next day, was it the next day or was it 2 days?
No, remember they left off my rehab stuff. Mm-hmm. So my numbers were totally botched. So
it wasn't the next day after we came to the table. It was 2 days later, actually.
It was that following, Tuesday.
Yeah. And the title finally gave us the go ahead, and it was done. So I mean, it happens, but in real estate, I'm telling you, it's bipolar. Real estate is bipolar. I can literally get a clear to close one day, we're excited, and then something can go crazy. So it's an up and down, but you have to be committed. So like I said, if anything, you taught me commitment. And if I could teach anybody anything about this process, you gotta be committed. It's not for the faint of heart at all. So I commend you. I appreciate you, and congratulations
Thank
again.
You. And organized. Organized. You have to be organized.
And one of the things that I've been doing since I'm the newbie, the rookie on here, I have my phone. My phone is always on silent. I never turn it on. But ever since this started, I have my phone on me at all times. I check my email 10 times for the day because they're always asking me for something. So yeah, that's why I asked Tiffany, because the last thing that was holding me up was the title. From Andrea from title, and I was kind of worried because 1 minute there was nothing that I needed, and they were like, okay, you're good to go, and the next minute I saw something that says lender's condition, and I was like, oh my god. Yeah. So
yep, stay committed. You got to be committed to the cause.
Yeah.
All right, I see my favorite couple, Charlie and Afia. Let me unmute you. Hi, you guys. Happy Saturday. Let's see. Did I unmute? There we go.
Hi, happy Saturday to you. Good to see you. Good to see you all.
All right. So, when did you close on your house? Tell me, you guys, introduce yourselves.
Good afternoon. Charlie and Afia here. We started the whole home buying process in August. We went to the to the one, I mean, the whole weekend. I forgot what it's called. I think it's Achieve the Dream. We went to the Achieve the Dream at the Baltimore Convention Center and sat there one whole day and went through the whole snake in the lines and everything else. But we luckily had all the paperwork that was needed, because it just so happened that that we knew someone that had just went through the process of NACA. So we kind of had a little insight. They had just gotten a spot today. We kind of had a inside, scout that kind of told us, the moves to make. So we had all of our documents ready to go when we went to the Achieve the Dream. When we left there that same day, we had the paperwork that said that we could go ahead and start looking at houses. And believe it or not, Andrea was actually the person who gave us, who was actually in that final seminar that you have to go through at the end of the day that told us about everything. And we got that piece of paper, and no more than 2 weeks later, we started just looking for houses at that time. It just so happened that Andrea happened to be our realtor that came to show us a couple of houses. I think we saw like maybe 3 or 4 houses, and then the house that we're in now, my fiance went in and just said that this was it. I was happy with all of them.
Wait, I did. And Andrea knew it was the house.
I knew.
She said, you ain't did anything else. And she was like, you did a dance with this house? She was like, this is it. I know it. So she knew. And I was like, how do you know? But she's been watching and observing, and she was doing more than what we knew she was doing. And then she has this experience and this, I don't know, she just knew. She picked up on so much that we didn't even realize she was, but she knew exactly when it was. She was like, tell me when is the go? Let me know, she was ready, but she just was so in tune and so aligned with us that she just really was, it was just a blessing to have her.
And what's crazy about it is that same day that we saw the house, it was an open house that same day. But it was later that afternoon. We had came 10, 11 o'clock that morning. And as soon as we saw it, was like, hey, can we take this off now? We don't want no one to walk in here. And Andrea made a couple of phone calls. And then the only thing that I asked was not only with the house, was like, hey, can we keep the pool table? And
yes.
Every time I wasn't even worried about the house anymore. I was just worried about the pool table. I was like, are we going to keep the pool table? Put in the pool table. I'll pay for the pool table.
I remember playing dumb the whole time. What pool table? I don't know what you're talking about. That was awesome.
But to suffice to say, yes, in the end, I say our process started the end of August, and by the end of October, we were in our house.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Congratulations. Family is awesome.
Everyone's awesome.
Thank you.
Great. All right, who is next? Who wants to share? Let's see. Somebody that has closed. Miss Akinrola, are you going to chime in and tell us about your experience? Introduce yourself.
My name is Funlola Akinrola. I love NACA, and most especially, Andrea makes it very easy for us because she was always on top of her game. She makes buying a house very easy, because it's not easy, when you want to buy a house with NACA. But with Andrea, everything was successful. I told her I want a new house. I took her to where I wanted, and she got everything for us. I was so surprised. I was so amazed. I'm there now, happy with my family. So, yes. Andrea, you are doing a good job. Keep it up.
Thank you so much.
Half of my co-workers, they are now in NACA. I introduced them to NACA.
All right. Well, whenever they're ready, send them my way. The family is great. Everybody's good?
Yes, everybody's okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. I think I see my girl, Alexis. Where you at, girl?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
So, Alexis, you want to share with the people your experience?
Sure, no problem. So I had actually started with NACA about a year ago. And of course, in general, I had my mind set on I wanted new, brand new everything. I don't want to deal with fixing anything or anything like that. But ultimately, we kept searching, and we found the needle in the haystack. But we looked at the house I'm in now, which I closed on March 13th this year, right as COVID was cranking up, because I even remember being at closing and the lady wiping everything down. She had on her gloves. This is for anyone else who's wearing a mask or anything. But
I remember.
but we looked at this house, and then we looked at another house, and let me back up. Me and Andrea saw this house, and I was like, ooh, it's too much. But came back to it a couple of months later, and I said, hey, what are they saying about this house? And Andrea, she made a couple of calls, found out the price was about to drop. And I'm like, yeah, pull the trigger. Let's do this. We got to get this done right away. So ultimately, we got the house. I'm in it now. I love it. And I couldn't be more grateful about my whole experience. Andrea just made everything so much easier for me to not really have to deal with headaches, stress, just being very knowledgeable, accurate, on time with everything. So I love you, and I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. And that's that entryway that I love so much. Yes, I appreciate you. Definitely. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And tell your mom I said hi.
I will.
I know she's close by.
She is, but I haven't been letting her come over because I still go into the hospital. So I don't know what so I won't let her come over.
Well, you need to hurry up because you know she want her room. You better stop playing.
She can't come over.
You will come back and she gonna have a whole situation set up. And you're gonna be like, well, you here now.
I'll let her know.
Well, I appreciate you. Who else do we have? So I think that's the only. Do we have anybody else that wants to chime in as far as that has closed already, wants to share their experience? I think that's it. Yes, I think that's. So my next question, and this is more so as far as realtor selection. So I have closed people who have already closed and also people who are in the process. And I want to know, and this is quite a few people on here, so anybody that wants to chime in can unmute themselves. But I want to know, when you decided to choose your realtor, what are some of the traits and characteristics that you were particularly looking for in your real estate agent? And anybody can chime in.
I want to chime in.
Okay.
Let me start because of my nightmare. And you taught me this. You were the one who taught me this after we met. So I choose a realtor that I had first based on somebody who I met in the program, and we're using her. And at the time, I wasn't there yet. So I said, okay, give me your information. And when I was on that road to start looking for houses, I'll call you. So I didn't much know. Honestly, this is my first go around with buying a house, even dealing with realtor or anything like that. So when we met, she sent me some houses. After I got my congratulations, I could start looking. She sent me some houses and she was like, hey, I'll come pick you up and we're going here. So I didn't know nothing about her. I was just like, oh, okay, all right. She picking me up. This is new. So she picked me up and she told, because I told her where I was looking for the houses, she took me to those houses and I was like, no. So all the houses she's taking me to, I'm like, no, I'm not feeling it. But then she started saying, this is nice. And she started talking about the house and she was like, this have this, and yes, you should choose this one. I'm telling you, this is perfect for you and what you're looking for in your family. And that's when my red flags start going off. So now I start coming home after we go on the road. I start coming home and venting to my girlfriend and my family. And I'm like, okay, why is this woman trying to put me in a house that is not working for me? And then it got to the point where I felt so pressured. I was so pressured that she showed me a house and I put my money down on it because I was like, okay, I reached the F it point where I'm like, I just want to be done with this because it's not being fun. And I'm told that house buying is supposed to be fun, especially looking at houses. And it wasn't fun for me. So I paid my deposit this woman is going to make me know that I might not get back my deposit if I decide I don't want the house. So that's when I brought my mortgage counselor in, and I was like, okay, the seller is saying that she's not fixing. When the inspector, I lost so much money. I lost so much money with my first realtor. The inspector came out, and oh my God, this lady, she refurbished the house, but I think she probably was thinking the inspector wouldn't find a lot of the stuff that was wrong. It was maybe over $50,000 worth of work that she covered up. So the inspector was so good because he was so meticulous. We were there from 10 in the morning, and he didn't leave until after 3. He went through that house with a microscope. When we got the inspection report was so thick. I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? So NACA was like, okay. I was like, I don't want it. Apparently my realtor didn't put in the contract clause that I can back out of it if I don't want the house. She didn't put that in the contract. So now it started to scare me because I have to wait now for the seller to say, I'm not fixing it before I get back my money. So that was a scary process for me. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat because my money now is tied up. Finally, it took the seller about 3 weeks to get back to me. At this time now, I was traveling to California. I couldn't participate in work. I was on pins and needles because I'm like, oh my God, why is the seller not getting back to say, I'm not fixing $50,000 worth of work? What the hell is she waiting for to say, I'm out, I'm not fixing it? I was on pins and needles. I went to California, I came back. I was so stressed out. I was on the phone with NACA all the time. I went to NACA, I was like, so NACA got on her. NACA started fighting now on my behalf. NACA was like, okay, we're not having this. They called her in, asked her, why you didn't put that in the contract for the buyer to get out of the contract if she did not like the house and all of this things that she's finding. If I say, oh, I see the report, I don't want it, I should be able to back out. I get my money, but she didn't put that in the contract for me. For it to be that
inspection contingency.
Right. She didn't put it in the contract for make it that easy for me. So NACA got involved. She was pissed. She wrote NACA an email and basically trying to say that my counselor is pitching me against her. She's not knowing that.
So you had drama with your.
That's what I said, drama. Remember, I said comedy, drama, and action.
So when your experience? Because I remember when we first met, you told me a lot, and remember I was like, "It's you. It's not everybody's running. It must be you."
Yes, I know it's you. And then Andrea came on board and said, "Okay, this is how it's supposed to work with real estate agent and the client. You're supposed to feel the connection. If you're not feeling a connection in the first meeting, then that person is not for you after you, because it's practically an interview." And I didn't know that.
That's my famous line. When you, even with your realtor, it's like a relationship. You want to date
a relationship, and I didn't know that. And then I met Andrea. We talked because she was like, "I'm not taking you out to go do no house. I'm not sending you nothing. I'm not." I was like, what the hell is going on here? She was like, I'm not giving that car. She was like, I'm not giving you no house. I'm not. No. I want to know if we click. If we click, then I'll send you stuff. And I was like, what the hell?
But no, that's definitely important. You gotta have chemistry. It's just like any other relationship. And I always say, you have to find the house. It's just my job to help you get it. You should never feel pressured. So that was your one thing that you learned.
Yes, and then the thing is with you, we went into houses, and as soon as I walk in the house, you were like, I know you don't like this. You're not feeling it. I can tell on your face. Just like what who said it? Louis. Yeah, you said it, right? And that was with her. She was like, I can tell you don't like it. And then the mistake I did, I took my niece with me, and she fell in love with one house, and I wasn't in love with it, and I was like, I don't want it. And then it so happened, like I said in the beginning, the house that the first realtor didn't want me to get. I know that house was mine. I knew that house was mine.
As soon as you walked in,
it was mine because I left her in when was that? February? I left her in February. And the house, when I was looking at that house back in November, December, she said, no, that is out your price range. No. And the house was on the market when I got with Andrea. And I said, Andrea, this is the house I want. And as I walk in the house, Andrea said, yep, that's your house. That's the one. Yeah, she said, that's the look I'm looking for. That's what Andrea said. She was like, that's the expression I'm looking for. I was jumping up. I was like, Andrea, I want it. Then I got scared because I saw people coming in and out of the house that day. And I believe you stood in the driveway. You parked in the driveway and you conduct the transaction right in the driveway.
I play no games.
Yeah, and I got the house.
You gotta date your realtor. You gotta know what you want when you come to your realtor. The chemistry just has to be there. So you had an experience, but that definitely puts you on point to know what you wanted in your next realtor. Definitely.
Exactly. So like I said, drama, comedy, and action.
There you go, right?
That was my experience with buying a house. Yeah.
So who else? What are some things you guys were looking for when you decided that you were shopping for your realtor?
Well, I didn't do much shopping. You kind of came to me. Because I went to the event and my counselor that I had there, actually, I guess your name preceded you, because she was like, she was talking to somebody and she knew for a fact that this particular realtor was really, really good. So it just so happened that it was you and you called me. So it all worked itself out. So I really didn't have to shop around, because my biggest thing was I understood that the NACA process can be complicated. So I did not want to try to get a realtor outside of NACA, because I had no time for all of this extra stuff, right? So I needed somebody who was knowledgeable of that, specifically the NACA process. Which you proved to be just that. And we had our initial conversation and you asked all the right questions basically about what I wanted, what I didn't want, all of that, you know. And then we went out and we got catfished by those 3 people, those 3 homes that were just trash. But we had a good time laughing about that. So, and then we eventually found this. So I guess the thing is, you really need to pick a realtor that is familiar with this process, because there's so much involved in it that you really don't have time to have to educate the person who's supposed to be helping you in this process.
That's important.
Because it's just going to make it all the more stressful for you if you have to learn alongside this person. Absolutely not. You proved that you knew, what you were talking about. You were thorough, you were consistent, and you were on it. When they dropped the ball, I was CC'd on all of those emails like, look, what are you doing here? Where are we with everything? So that is the type of realtor you want. And the fact that you would drive like 45, 50 minutes to an hour to look at some houses with me, yeah, you're the real MVP.
I appreciate you. We got it done. Sure. Awesome. So definitely somebody educated who knows the process for sure. Anybody else want to chime in?
I'll second what Tiffany said, because when we were at the Achieve the Dream event, and they said something about it's useful to have a NACA real estate agent. And like I said, just because of your name, it just felt like we had a chemistry right off the bat from our side.
Well, I think the other thing, we had a friend of ours has a very good friend who is a realtor in the DC area. And they were saying, you should go with them. And after meeting you, it was just, there was no question. You were the person. Your knowledge of the NACA program, it was awesome. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. It was awesome. I remember. I was like, look at God. Andrea, huh?
And one of the things that I'll also say that I didn't mention when I first spoke is I remember telling you that I really want the house. I, had made that commitment in my head. It was mine. And then I texted you, I was like, it was an open house. Do you think there's going to be other people? Should I offer more? And you took care of it. And then anything that we put over, she put in as bargaining for us. But in case there was a bidding war, but then there wasn't. And we got to use it as points buy down. So I thought that was genius that it insured our house and we got a better interest rate. So thank you for that too.
Absolutely. Thank you guys.
No, but the first realtor was NACA.
Yeah.
She was NACA. Yeah. So that's why I went, because she was NACA. I didn't want another realtor. I wanted a NACA realtor. So that kind of blew me away. The whole behavior of her and the whole process, because she was a NACA. So yeah.
That's a
But I was just, and you want to hear the funny thing, how I got Andrea? I took all of and I believe I told you this. I took all of the cards that was downstairs, because my counselor said, I can't give you a realtor. I can't tell you what realtor to choose. So I came downstairs and I saw all the business cards downstairs, and I took every one of them. And then I took them to church and I prayed over it. And I said, okay, that's who I'm going with, Andrea. And I called her.
Oh, I'm telling you.
And I called her. I was like, okay, girl, look, I prayed over you. They said,
I remember, I was like, how did you hear about me? Okay, all right. Well, let's roll with it. Yeah. Definitely. Professional experience, chemistry, relationship. What else? Some of the things you guys were looking for when you were looking for an agent that was priority for you?
I know for me. Hi, I'm Lauren.
Hey, Lauren.
Hi, I'm cleared to close hopefully soon, hopefully next week.
Yes, we did your final walkthrough, 2 days ago?
Yes, in DC. So I'm born and raised in Washington, DC. So one of the things that was important for me was somebody that had experience with this market, because it's so competitive.
Yes.
And the properties can vary, and that was really something that was important for me. I did have one realtor before Andrea, and she was from DC too, but she seemed to be more focused on expanding her commercial business. Like, she wasn't a NACA agent, and I liked her. We vibed well, but I wasn't a huge priority for her. So I decided to drop her and have NACA assign me one. And I'm so glad I got Andrea, because we've had some experiences. We've been to quite a few properties that I gave us some stories to tell. But yeah, we found the right one.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, I'm gonna write a book. No, like, people think I just show houses, like, Lord.
Just
yes,
seen a lot.
Tell.
Yeah, and I appreciate you being so flexible, because for me, like, it's just me. I have a dog, and this is my first, home purchase, and I want it to be an investment. Like, it's definitely something that, if I later decide to turn it into a rental property, but either way, it's just me trying to build wealth. And so it's trying to, it was really helpful trying to help me navigate all of the different factors that go into that, looking at what development is nearby, looking at what work needs to be done. Because we looked at everything from condos to, we looked at a complete tear down gut job up in Deanwood, which definitely was still like my plan C if like this one hadn't worked out. But like, I was really glad for your expertise in that, because I felt more comfortable going that route if I had to.
Yeah, definitely. And a home is a home, but it's also an investment. It's probably one of the largest purchases people make in a lifetime. So you got to think with a wealth building mindset. And that was one of the things that stood out about you too. You were like, yeah, I'm going to live here, but the money needs to be right. This needs to work out as far as my legacy, my plan. So that's key. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Awesome. Anybody else want to chime in? No. I think that's it. Let's see. All right, last question. And like I said, I didn't want to take a lot of you guys' time, but ultimately for the people who have closed, even the people who are in the process, would you say coming into this, of course, we have expectations, but do you feel that your home buying expectations were met, your real estate agent expectations were met, and your overall expectations as a buyer were met throughout this process?
I would say yes. Yeah, I would say yes. My expectation, like I think Louis said that. No, Lauren said that you were available, and that's one of the things that I loved about you. I remember though one morning I texted you at 6:30 in the morning because I was up, and you were like, "Okay, I'm gonna answer you, but don't do it again."
Yeah. I love you, but
yeah, you said that.
8:30,
don't do it, girl. But I text you and you responded 6:30 in the morning. You know, I had a question and I was like, okay, let me take. But I didn't expect you to respond. But because the question popped into my head at 6:30, I was like, okay, let me get it out right now, my thoughts. But you responded, and that's one of the things that I loved about you. You know, even if you can't talk, you always send me back, hey, a text message, I can't talk, but I'll call you as soon as I get back in the car. And you were just, the experience for me is that you held my hands, and you're still holding it because I haven't got my clear to close, which
almost there.
Almost, which I'm hoping I'll get it by Monday because everything is in, and you know, you pushed back it now, right, twice. You pushed it from the 20th. I should have closed on the 15th. Then it pushed to the 20th, and now it's pushed to the 30th. So you've been holding my hands through the whole process, and I'm just so grateful to have you in my corner, honestly. And like Lauren said, there's a lot that I don't know or you don't know about the process, but you were just there with me and so patient to explain. Sometimes they send these acronyms. I'll ask Andrea, what does this mean? You know, so it's good that I have somebody like you in my corner. And trust me, you make this whole process from when I started, because I didn't go into the one I did Baltimore again because I dropped out. So mine was in DC in 2017. So I stopped the process because the process was just up and down for me. So I was like, forget it. So when I started back, I went into Baltimore again and started up back from there. But it was just a roller coaster for me the whole time until I met you. It's still a roller coaster, but the ride is bearable.
We're holding your hand. We're holding your hand.
Right. So the ride, it hasn't been smooth for me. You know, people, I hear Afrea and Louis, you said that, you know, you started August and now you close. Me, I've been doing this from 2017, and I stopped because the bumpy ride. Then I started again in 2018, and I stopped. I didn't stop, but I've been changing. I changed, no lie, maybe 5 counselor and 2 mortgage people, 2 mortgage counselor, regular counselor, and then 2 mortgage counselor. And now I'm with my 3rd mortgage counselor. So lucky number 3. So my ride has been just a roller coaster. But meeting Andrea, it's bearable. It was frustrating, but now it's bearable because I have her to respond to email. You know, sometimes I was like, Andrea, you saw the email. She said, don't worry about it. I got it. I'll respond to them. Or she'll call me and said, hey, do this, do that. Call this person now. Do that. And I was just always on it. So it feel bearable to me now. I can manage it. So yeah.
And I'll second that, because I think that, I mean, I'm a journalist, I'm a writer by trade, so I ask like a lot of questions, and I rabbit hole dig and do a lot of research. And so being able to ask you, Andrea, like questions when I didn't quite understand something, or, you know, if I just needed more clarification, has been like the best part. Because sometimes my first mortgage counselor that I had through most of the process is no longer with NACA, so I'm on my second one. And she was great in person, but not necessarily that responsive when I had questions like in the middle of the night. So, you know, having you be able to do that for me has been really, really good.
Awesome. Awesome. Anybody else? Has your expectations been met?
I would say yes, as well, but I think for a lot of us, in general, like everyone constantly says that you've made this process easier. So I think a lot of us, you have exceeded our expectations to make this process as, you know, bearable, as simple as possible, and by being knowledgeable, and more than anything, accessible, available, because even I can say, I know one time you went out the country, but you came on WhatsApp to still attend one of my meetings. So, you know, a lot of us could say that, and us all being on here right now, it says a lot about you.
I appreciate you guys. Definitely.
Yeah, I definitely have to, you know, like I have the same sentiments. Definitely the NACA process, it's like exceeded. I don't think we were saying, yeah, we want to be in a house by next year. So this was in 2019 summer. We were like, yeah, next summer, sure. So we had no clue. Like we weren't even trying to like expedite anything. It just literally rolled out that way. So definitely exceeded our expectations. And like Andrea, I mean, the same thing in terms of us not having the knowledge per se. Like we read through the guides and the books, but Andrea knew her stuff and was willing to like support us and like go beyond the Call of Duty. And I remember she had left the country too. And I tell you, when Andrea left, it was like,
I remember you were like, hold on. What do you mean? You're going where? I'm like, I got
she left, and when she came back, it was like she left, and it was just like, oh shoot, like so she had to come back and like pick up the pieces. And more for me, it was like the emotional pieces, right? Because I was starting to get annoyed with some folks, and not even, but I was starting to get annoyed with some people. And Andrea knew them, and so she knew people's situations, and she was great because the counselor that we had, she was really overworked and she had a lot going on. And Andrea stood her professional foot, like she did not waver in that. She was professional. She let me speak and vent and all of that. She never once like slighted her colleagues or anything. So like when you see someone with that type of integrity, you know that, you know, with you, they're going to be that same way, you know, because I'm sure there's a lot Andrea could have said, but she chose not to. In integrity and in professionalism, she held her ground. And so I really appreciate it because she could have gone there with me. She didn't. She pulled me back and she said, let's go and let's keep focused. So
I'm seeing that right now. I'm experiencing that right now because I know on those emails, I could tell she wanted to say some things, but
all I can see is that little emoji that goes like this.
Yes, right. I see those emojis she sent me. I'm like, okay. Yeah. So I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying about being, you know, professional and integrity intact with trying to handle us and guiding us through this process the best she can without losing herself and her integrity. So yeah, I see what you're saying.
You wouldn't have done it without Andrea, straight up. Like the NACA program, of course, provided that, you know, the platform for all of this to happen. But without Andrea, like, I don't know where.
I appreciate you guys so much.
Yeah, couldn't happen.
Definitely, I appreciate you guys. All right. Well, if anybody else wants to speak, now is your time. I know it's Saturday. We're on lockdown, but we still have things that we have to do. You know me, I'm never on lockdown. I'm like, can y'all get back to work? I got stuff to do. But I didn't want to keep you guys too long, but I'm forever grateful. I have the best clients. I'm telling you guys, and most of y'all become family or will be. You just don't know it yet. But I'm definitely so thankful you guys chose me for literally one of the biggest things you will ever do in your life. So I wanted to do this more so for myself, just to remind me why I do this, because it's a bipolar industry. I tell people all the time, if something happens to me, it'll probably be from a mental breakdown from the, you know, a transaction. But seriously, I love it. I love what I do. I love my clients. You guys are amazing. I love the commitment you guys have to your families and what you want to do. So this has been awesome for me, just to hear the different experiences, and most importantly that you guys are achieving your goals. So I am thankful. I appreciate you guys more than you have any idea, and I'm just thankful. I'm thankful. I appreciate you guys. So I will let you guys go. If anybody has anything to say before we tune out, please feel free. But that's it for me. I just wanted to make sure I'm meeting you guys' needs, exceeding your expectations, and doing what I set out to do.
You are.
You are. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
All right,
you.
guys,
Thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate you guys. Stay safe. Love, flight, all those amazing things. And I'm always only a phone call or a text away. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you again for everything. And I hope to see you guys soon.
Awesome.
I hope to see
All
you
right.
soon.
Have a great one, guys.